and have another exciting day heading west for to talk about real estate and see if he is interested in pride of ownership. He's going to look to get to one or two properties this year. So going to be a fun day. Going to go look at what we're seeing in the news, and I can't believe that country. It looks like some of the politicians out there believe, or at least one in particular is quoted as saying he doesn't believe that billionaires should exist. And that's crazy. When you tackle really, really hard problems and you help society where you tackle the bigger problems and you take the bigger risks and, sometimes, that pays off, right? You don't become a billionaire because, you create some kind of unique, pet rock phenomenon and suddenly, you're a billionaire, right? Those things are hit and miss, and you don't get to that kind of wealth with luck, really, even greed, right? You get found out and you end up in jail or something. So I just I don't get it, and to to take that off the table is an outcome for people is to be. In addition to that, I've filing my tax returns. I've always been taxed on income, or capital gains, right? Those are kind of the three things. I've seen multiple politicians now talk about taxing net worth. And that is so backwards that it is hard to believe. First off, net worth is a fuzzy number at best. It can be grossed up or grossed down depending on worth X. Somebody else could look at it and say you're worth Y. And both could be right. I mean, net worth is just a, but then you go beyond that and you start saying that billionaires don't exist. You start having a laddered scale up of net worth, and pretty soon, um, it's just illogical, right? So I saw one proposal that said, if you're going to tax everybody over $50 million or $100 million on net worth, do you think these people are going to stay in the U.S.? Do you really think these people with the greatest means will stay in the U.S. and keep contributing to our society? No, they're going to pick up their ball of tricks and move to another country and help that country out. Now, again, if you don't think billionaires or wealthy people should exist, maybe that's what you want. Maybe you want to drive out these folks who are, if you look under the covers, are helping folks. And so it's interesting. I don't get this. I don't get the attack on success. It's really unfortunate. So that was kind of interesting. Back to the news of the day, kind of following on what else has been going on. The trade war. Remember, I think it was Monday this week. I said, "Hey, what happened with the Chinese delegation that left early and didn't want to go see our farms?" And I said, given that there wasn't kind of an immediate reaction, that something happened. And it turns out we asked them to leave. Go figure. And oh, by the way, so that was us. We asked them to leave. Don't really know the full story there. Don't really care. But again, trade war is heading in the right direction continuously. In addition to that, it looks like China has started buying soybeans. They given a exception to that, and they started buying. I think they bought 8 boatloads of. Good morning, San Francisco. Does that say Eric? I can't read. I have my eyes in. Yep. Hey, Eric. So yeah, so it looks like China is buying soybeans again, which is great. That was one of the food supplies that really hurt our farmers. So that looks like it's back on the table. And again, the trade war just seems to be heading the right direction. And again, we don't need some uber trade deal to happen. I think a headline reading one that says we agree to this and that, and yeah, we're friends or at least frenemies again, I think goes a long way. So that was interesting. In addition to that, what I saw is it looks like Jim Cramer is on board with things that we're talking about on this channel. I've talked about WeWork now for seemingly 3 or 4 weeks. We've talked about other Silicon Valley unicorns. And now it looks like Jim Cramer is agreeing with me. Or at least he's sharing publicly maybe what he's thought privately for a while. And that is we have something going on that was very .com like. And again, I have talked about it for quite a while. It seemed that technology companies were being valued on something other than revenue or profit specifically, right? In .com, it was eyeballs and page clicks. Today, it's some kind of arbitrary metric, and you can see the environment changing, right? With WeWork, for example, and again, Sam Zell saying, guys, this they've tried this before and it's never worked. Um, so you can see this, you can see Peloton in their valuation, and the list goes on and on. So it does feel like these unicorns who had, let's call it inflated valuations, are going to get cut down to size in a big way. So it's pretty interesting. And again, something else that I just saw today, or actually two more things. First off, home equity is highest on record, which is interesting because it was quite high in 2008. The difference is people are not tapping their houses as ATM machines, which is awesome. Gives them better liquidity options. It gives them more room to breathe. And again, if just Case Shiller, I haven't read it yet. It came out right before I hit record. It looks like Case Shiller is saying that price appreciation is stopped its contraction or reduction in speed. It looks like it's healthier, but I have to record a video on that one later. And then the last thing that really caught my attention is there's several billionaires, two that I respect, Sam Zell and Warren Buffett, who have record cash positions. And if you really peel back what they're saying in their articles and their videos that you see on CNBC or Fortune or Forbes or whatever the video is they understand. It's very much like 2008 when Buffett was saying, irrational, or Greenspan was saying irrational exuberance. People were building cash positions and looking like, I don't know, fools or idiots, and then suddenly it broke their way and they were geniuses. And I think that's happening today. And if you follow Sam Zell and Warren Buffett, you know that I mean, Sam Zell was called the grave dancer for a reason, as he was, tiptoeing through the graveyard picking up assets in the crash. I think it was in the 70s or the 80s. Um, so again, if these billionaires who have the means, it could be done a long time ago, or having record cash positions, I think it should be a sign, right? I think that should all be telling us something. And I think what's happening in their mind is they see the global economy slowing down because they have reach and data, and they realize that eventually the American consumer, who sometimes is below the radar, uh, will eventually crumble. So that's again what I'm seeing. I'm going to keep following those two and see what's going on. So. In the end, I think again, trade war is heading in a positive direction. China's buying soybean, which really is going to help out our farmers. We are going to have to start watching the GM and United UAW strike that's going on a week now. That's going to really start to impact more and more folks the days that go by. And I haven't gotten a good feeling that that's heading in any kind of positive direction. So that could really hurt the Midwest. I do expect if this goes on, maybe 3 weeks is the number, that the executive branch will come in and say, get to, and have another great day, everybody. Talk to you tomorrow. Bye.